God bless everyone. I and Salam were assigned to discuss about John Dewey's and society. Okay, before we go through our deep discussion, we should identify who is John Dewey. So this picture is John Dewey. So John Dewey, born on October 20, 1959 at Burlington, Vermont, USA. And also, he died on June 1, 1952 at New York. And he is American philosopher and educator who was a co-founder of the philosophical movement known as pragmatism. So, pragmatism is an educational philosophy that says that education should be about life and growth. And later on, Salem were discussed about pragmatism, and also John Dewey is a pioneer in function psychology and innovative theories of democracy. And also, he is a leader of progressive movement in education in the United States. So that's all about John Dewey. So now Dewey's critique to the traditional school. So the first is these setups in rows. So designed for children to listen to assume a passive role in education. So this setup in rows is a design for the student to listen and to assume that the role of education should be accept. The second one is mechanical massing of children. No consideration of individual needs. The third is education is teacher centered. So in traditional school of Dewey's critique, teacher is centered in education because teacher is the one who facilitates the learning process to the learners. And lastly is uniformity of method and curriculum. So in traditional school, the curriculum is uniformative. It means it's the same. So that's it. And now let's go to this saying. So, according to John Dewey, the moment children act, they individualize themselves, which is to be a mass and become two intensely distinctive beings that are acquainted with out of the school, in the home and the family, on the playground, and in the neighborhood. So, according to Dewey, the children learns and acquire knowledge based on what interests him and through experience. So, as we know, through experience of the students, it gets more interest to learn and acquire knowledge. The second one is education is start at home. Discussion with adults, inquiries about the child image world experience through participation in household chores. So the first education start at home, and our parents is a first teacher. So the learning of the student is started at home. And lastly, it's very important to provide the contact with different social settings. So the learner should not focus in one social setting, but also they focus on different social settings in order for them to learn more and to become a good communicator. And now let's move on. Child is distinctly motivated by working on what he interested in. First is he will face obstacles and work around them. And also he will become acquainted with materials. The third is he will develop patience, persistence, and alertness and self-discipline. And lastly, he will develop more knowledge and skills and problem-solving strategy than if asked to follow directions. So, is what will happen if the child is strongly motivated by working on what he is interested. And now, let's go through the three Dewey's educational model is based on the innate child instinct. So, the first instinct is the social. So, social is through conversation, personal intercourse, and communication. The second instinct is instinct of making, like role play, movement, gesture, and make believe. So the instinct of investigation grow of this constructive, impulsive, and conversational. So and the last instinct is the art instinct. So The impulsive to express also involve the communicating and constructive instincts. So these instincts are the Dewey's educational model is based on the innate child instinct. And the last part of my discussion is the purpose of the love school. So what is the purpose? Why there is a love in school? So this this too is based on this chapter 2 on the book of John Dewey. So the first is to utilize this or the child's interest so that it shall become an end of staying progress of the human race. The second one is the interest of the child in the people their doing is carried on into the larger world of reality. So, and Nanay will continue my discussion about John Dewey's School and Society.
Hello everyone, and for the continuation of the presentation, the next topic will be the Dewey's theories and beliefs on education and the school's role. Dewey stressed the importance of education in school not only as a place to gain content knowledge but also as a place to learn how to live. So Dewey stressed kay ang importance kuno sa education in school kay only for gaining content knowledge, but for him it is also a place to learn how to live. And he believed that students should be actively involved in real life tasks. So ang students kinahanglan mag-involve og real life tasks, like for example, cooking and making a mini cabinet. So that's a real life task. And for next, Dewey calls out for allowing spontaneity in children's conversations to encourage freedom of oral communication within the classroom. That is how language is developed in a useful, continual contact with reality. So, ang si Dewey's kay gitagaan niya freedom ang students para makig-communicate sa iyang mga classmates within the classroom. So, by that, ang language kay ming develop, and then mo continue pag yun na mo continue na ilang communication dili lang kay sa classroom but in the society or with the other people para maka-socialize ang sa tao. So next, pragmatism. John Dewey's specific form of pragmatism is instrumentalism, that theories are instruments or tools by which we know reality. He focused on schools and civil society to promote the achievement of democracy. Democracy pragmatism is an American school of philosophy. So, si Dewey's, ang pragmatism sa iha kay instrument or tools. Kay ang pragmatism is more on, focuses on practical and logical response mo nang nag-focus siya sa schools and civil society para ma-promote ang achievement sa democracy pragmatism. So next will be the proponents of pragmatism. So the first proponents is democracy in education. So sa democracy in education, man God, it provides opportunity for the students to learn and understand other culture. It's because sa students gitagaan sila freedom para makig-communicate with their classmates nga they have different cultures and different beliefs. So by communicating each other, they know each other na pod, and they gain respect and trust each other. And second, students need to learn pragmatic daily life skills in order to build a better society. So, as a students pa ka, kinahanglan na ka maka-learn og mga practical skills kay para in the future, kabalo na ka kung sa imong buhaton and di na ka mag-ignorante sa ubang mga butang. And so, last, Dewey wanted the students to learn through experience and to think and reflect critically on their experience. So, ang students, kay makalearn sila through experience. And through experience, mas mo develop ang ilang critical thinking skills. So the last slide would be the sayings or quotes from John Dewey. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Education, therefore, is a process of living and not preparation for future living. So, sabotable na kayo ang quotes ni John Dewey. And that would be all. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Thank you. Goodbye.